Hi everybody, this is Gayle. Welcome back to my channel. Tonight we're going to be talking about overcoming obstacles. I do this on Sunday nights, but we're going to be talking specifically tonight about overcoming demonetization. So I invite you guys to join me and kick back and kind of relax. Now that has been a very difficult thing for a lot of YouTubers, I myself included. One of the frustrating points for me is that years ago, I was actually invited by YouTube to take part in the monetization YouTube partner program. Then the other day, I got, of course, the final thing about, there is no monetization. It no longer said, if you can reach the watch time threshold. And that was kind of a difficult moment for me because I don't know about you guys, but I personally had held out some hope that I would meet that threshold. And of course, did not. Cue the sad music. The challenge for us as YouTubers is, I think, to stay positive. And our big question is, how do we stay positive after that? Oh, and Happy Trails Hiking has just joined us. Hey, Happy Trails Hiking. And she says, hi, Gayle, we can't stay long today. Just wanted to say hi, hit the thumbs up, and say we are positive that you are staying positive. Awesome. Thank you, Happy Trails, for coming by. I hope that you're staying positive too and looking at ways to move beyond that. And the reality for a lot of YouTubers is also that, the channels weren't monetized to begin with. But even for those channels who did not have monetization, I still think that I don't want to call it finality, but the actual receipt and actual knowing that, you've got such a high bar to go to be eligible for monetization is really troublesome for a lot of small YouTubers, especially simply because, some people may not feel like they can actually meet that and ever monetize their channels. And Happy Trails Hiking says, we love what we're doing and we'll keep working to make great content. Happy Trails, I really think that's the key. Eventually, we'll cross that magic threshold for YouTube and we can get the monetization back. And Happy Trails Hiking says, I know many are discouraged. Me too. It's a very tough thing, no matter which way you go, whether you were monetized and you lost monetization, whether you were planning on being monetized and had that bar kicked up sky high, or even I think some of the larger YouTubers are kind of upset on our behalf, supported us. Lisa, I think there's a lot of discouragement all along. It's easy also. Happy Trails, give me your thought, but I'm thinking that possibly just remembering why we got on YouTube to begin with is a good way to kind of help counteract some of that negativity about losing the monetization. Happy Trails says, we lost monetization last year in March too. It's just about learning to play the game the way they want to play. I didn't realize that you had already lost it last year in March. I didn't realize that there was anything going on last year. But I do think it's about learning to play the game the way they want it. I think you phrased it really well there. For you guys who are joining us, please don't forget to click that magic like button for me and subscribe if you haven't already. Because on Sunday nights, we talk about overcoming obstacles, whatever the obstacles are. And of course, right now, we're talking about staying positive in the face of demonetization. But I think we should also talk about, some alternative methods to monetize our channels that have and keep on going. Happy Trails says, we lost it. worked to get the 10,000 views, and now this one came along. Ow. Happy trails. From looking at your channel, I really think you're going to get there. You've got a good channel. So now, Anthony, we're talking about staying positive after demonetization, because so many of us have been hit. I was just telling Happy Trails, I think ultimately it affects all YouTubers on the platform. Is asking, what am I doing to monetize content now? Well, back at in preparation for the beginning of the year, what I did was I sat down and I made a plan, a business plan for my channel to actually look at it from a business perspective. My hope is to go, full time maybe this summer. And so my entire plan really has not changed. And for me, that includes certainly the YouTube channel, and also continuing, I'm doing podcasts also. Penny says, I'm making supper while listening. Luckily, I wasn't affected. However, I feel like I have to fight to get noticed and views. Penny, I think that you're right. Patty Byler has just joined us. Hi, Patty. And she says that, okay, a nodule was found on my adrenal gland. I've been so panicked, but after watching your videos, I feel so much better about finding my results on Tuesday. That's awesome, 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 Patty. And Imo and Izzy are in. Says, hi, Gayle. Hi, Imo and Izzy. Welcome. It's good to see you all. And Patty, on a future live stream, I want to talk about adrenal glands on overcoming obstacles. So contact me if you would like to be on that and share your thoughts on that, because the adrenal glands are a big deal. For me, I was glad I had it out. And so Happy Trails had asked me about the demonetization issue and how I'm going to monetize. For me, for monetizing, I'm going back to the business plan that I created for the channel. I looked at different ways. I'm creating this into podcasts. Happy Trails says, I really need to go. Hope you all have a great week. Stay positive and connect with others often. Okay, thank you, Happy Trails. But turning this into podcasts gives me another avenue to reach advertisers and another reason for advertisers to be interested in my contact. Imo and Izzy said, sorry you got demonetized. And Patty says, awesome, still a bit worried, but please say a prayer for me. Patty, count on it. Count on that, Patty. And thank you, Imo and Izzy, for the comment about being sorry I got demonetized. I appreciate that. It was very frustrating. I was only within a few thousand minutes, but going forward, it gives me something to strive for. Also, it doesn't affect my other monetization, which was being able to monetize through podcasts, being able to monetize through private sponsorships, through Amazon, using some increased awareness here to monetize through my Zazzle store for my photographs and products, Etsy. There's lots of ways that we can still monetize and go forth, because YouTube, the AdSense revenue is like a small part. Now I'm still monetized on my blogs, and so I'll still have, that income. But the reality, I think, for me is partially deal with the frustration of having to make that $100 threshold before actually receiving a payment. So knowing, for me, it's frustrating, knowing there's money in my AdSense account and I can see it and I can stare at it, but I can't access it. And I know that it's going to take a little longer, or maybe even a lot longer, to get that $100 out of them. But in reality, that's just a small part of monetizing the channel. Private sponsorships and products have been, for me, a much bigger portion of my YouTube channel. I made more on Amazon last year than I did any other form of advertising. And it's not that I had a super huge amount, but a few $100s here and there really helps. And with me, with my doctor bills, they're very glad every time I get a payment because I can increase what I'm paying them. And Mo and Izzy says, I got up to 10K views and was awaiting review when they announced the changes. What a frustration. And she says, I've heard great things about affiliate links for products mentioned in our beauty videos. Well, not that it's big bucks, but every penny counts. And the thing is, it does. But we also have to be careful about over monetizing on the YouTube platform, in the sense that we're sending a lot of referral links outside the platform, because they don't want to see that either. They want as many people to stay on YouTube as at a time. So I found out that just mentioning that I got a product on Amazon and referring people to Amazon shops, that was helpful. And keeping that whole positive idea that I'll get more. I also have it on the link to my blog, and sometimes when people go from here to my blog, GayleCrabtree.com, they see that also. For me, another avenue is I've written a couple of books, so those are out there, and I'm actually introducing some books later this spring into this summer about some of my travels that I've been on, just some little devotionals. And also I'm kicking up the public speaking that I'm doing, the motivational speaking. And let's see, let me go back. Mo and Izzy says, how far off your monetization goal are you, Gayle? I've got about 1/4 of the subs and 1/5 of the watch time. And then she says, I haven't considered that the links would end the YouTube watch time. Uh-oh. Well, with me, I was only a few thousand minutes away from the threshold, and I am so frustrated because if I had until the end of the month, I probably would have gotten it, because the live streams are really, really helping. And if not the end of the month, then probably by the middle of the month, then I would have hit it. So I'm like, so close, so close. And Penny says, I've been lucky enough to do sponsored videos. That's where the money has been for me. I agree. The other thing is sometimes you can do products and then turn around, and if you want to, you can put that product on eBay. Some channels will use it also as a giveaway. So those kinds of things help. And of course, getting word out about, if you're selling something on eBay, getting word out about that. Mo and Izzy says, you were so close. Hopefully soon you can be reviewed then. I hope so. I hope so too. But I bet you, and I'm not keyed into like the YouTube powers that be or anything like that. But, I bet you that probably once we hit the 240,000 minutes of watch time, I can't see them making that a one-time threshold. I bet we're going to have to stay up there. So, and another thing for me that I hope will lead to some monetization is I'm doing videos out and about and in different locations. So I'm hoping to be able to work that in to some type of monetization where, hey, I've got this kind of watch time and this many views on my channel, and do a write-up on my blog to go with it. My blog, youthabeendreviewed.net, that one's received 750,000 views. And on that, the views are a little different than on a live platform like this, like YouTube. I also have my group. And so that, the Facebook group that I have, utilizing that, a lot of the subscribers in my YouTube, or people on my YouTube, on my group, sorry, I'm getting all tangled up here. A lot of people on that are buying from my YouTube, from my Amazon store. You know, if I mention something here on the video, then even if I don't mention it on the video, I'm posting it on my Facebook page or on my groups. And so that's leading to sales too, which is really helpful. Penny says, I use Thomas and Famebook and Grapevine Logic to get sponsorships. I also use Octoly for more free beauty products too. That's interesting, Penny. I actually have not used those platforms to try to get sponsorships. Have you had good luck with them? But that's something I wasn't sure. I don't want to get stuck. So far, people have just found me online and come to me. You have had good luck. Okay. Awesome. So I may check into those more. Definitely will have to give a look at those more. So, just that's not something I've looked into yet. Now my Zazzle store, I made a pretty good, I did okay last year on my Zazzle store. Still less than $500, but it's a help because that's where I've been able to sell some of my photographs from the trips, and that's been nice. Penny says, yes, I have. Start with Thomason first. It's the easiest. I'm definitely going to check that one out. Absolutely. And it's interesting too. Sometimes I found once I do a video and I've mentioned something that I'll get contacted occasionally and say, hey, you've mentioned us. Let me toss some free product over to you. And you can mention our product and things like that. The company that gave me the vest for Tomlin that I just love has been very kind, and they've offered me a couple of other products to review for my blog. So we're looking into that because I was so happy. The person had been on a couple of my videos, and then before I left for Alaska, she said, hey, how would you like to have a free vest for him to use? And I was like, great, because I had to get him a vest, or felt like I had to get him a vest anyway. The one he had was great, but it was just filthy. And some tears, you know. And Mo and Izzy says, I haven't looked into sponsored videos. I'm still too small still, I presume. And Penny says, you can also contact companies directly too. You may not get a sponsorship, but you may get free stuff. I agree. And then some of the free stuff that you get, you can turn around and sell that and turn that product into some funds, even though you got it for free. Mo and Izzy says, free stuff could still help you out if you would otherwise have to have bought it. Oh, I totally agree. You know, that vest was between, you know, $40 or $75, depending on what type of vest that I would have had to have paid for. And I love the vest. So it's sturdy. It fits well. You know, I like that product. So it really, it helped. Because for me, I don't know about you guys, but when somebody offers me a sponsorship or a free product, like the service dog vest, I'll just pick on that one. I don't remember now what that vest was worth, but I'd looked at one at $75. And so I probably would have spent that had I not gotten this vest. And so that saved me the equivalent of about 2 tanks of gas. And so I look at it that way. So it's it translates, if it's something you're going to buy anyway, and it fills that gap so you don't have to spend money on something, then I look at it as it's still, in a sense, a revenue, because it just allowed me to allocate the money I would have spent onto something else. Does that make sense to you guys? And Mo and Izzy says that's fab about the vest. Oh yeah, buddy. I love it. And I'm not, that was a one-time sponsorship deal. I mean, they're not paying me anymore to plug them or anything like that, but I do like it. And also the other product that I got that was just fabulous is a glove for the dog. And Mo says, I have to go now. I have guests staying, so I'd better go and spend some time with them. It was lovely chatting. Well, it was good chatting with you too. And I understand a time difference too. So thank you for coming in at all. You go have fun with your guests. And of course, she's got a pretty great channel. So. Bye, Mo and Izzy. Thank you for coming in. So, yeah, I think the challenge, though, the biggest challenge overall is not to focus so much on Amazon's monetization, but on other forms, other avenues of monetization. I did pretty well last year on products. So, yeah. Whoops. And I just realized I didn't put, yes, I do. Okay. I'm going to resend the message on Twitter because I forgot to do that. I'm going to have somebody yelling at me if I don't. So, putting that out there. So what do you guys think is the biggest hurdle about staying positive right now? Okay, here we go. That's my tweet about that. And something else about Twitter, that's been a good way for me to monetize. There have been some companies there again that have just randomly said, hey, we're going to pay you a little bit to tweet out about our product or about our company. And so, for me, that's been another way to monetize, and it's actually been pretty good. There are some companies you can go to for that, but I haven't had to do that yet. I'll be looking more into it. Okay, and I just had, what happened here? There we go. Sorry about that. I just had a little flip out there. And I'm actually using a headset for the first time ever on a video, so I hope that's coming across okay. Okay, good. Thank you. But I don't think it's just, I don't think it's just about, how to monetize, but how to be positive enough to continue monetizing, even though it's just frustrating right now. Amazon helps. If you have an Etsy store, that is a good way to monetize. I know I'm actually, and I can credit mentioning it here, I'm actually out of product on my Etsy store right now. So I've got that held. I'm sort of on vacation on it. And of course, the podcast through Blog Talk Radio. in the past, I picked up some sponsorships for that. Let it go dormant. I have recently started changing channels. I was doing a program called Voices of Hope, and that was a great thing for a lot of people. But now although I'm redoing some of that content and putting it over onto the Blog Talk Radio channel, I'm putting this content on there. So that's been really good. So this podcast will be going up. Okay. I've got a thing going on there. Flipping it around. Yeah. I've just accidentally closed my window. That's not good. Let me pull this back up. Oh, okay. I totally forgot about that. Somebody just asked me about the the TV show that I'm going to be on. Yes, our local Knoxville Community Television is actually doing a program on YouTubers. And so I was just highlighted. We just did the taping for that on Tuesday night. It was a lot of fun, really interesting. And they've got a good cross section of YouTubers. So I am so honored to be a part of that. I don't have an air date yet, but I will be letting you guys know as soon as I get that. So I will add that now. And that's going to increase visibility. Now, I do notice something that I had. Okay. What's up with that? Somebody said that my super chat is up. I don't know if it is or not. Can I still super chat? I'm hearing yes and I'm hearing no. Well, if I can still super chat, that's going to be awesome. If I can't, you can always send something over to paypal.com. Yeah, so thank you. Okay. Cool. Okay. Thank you. Oh, shoot. Yeah, it would help if I gave that. It's Gayle at GayleCrabtree.com. Totally drew a blank there. Sorry about that. Or you can use you've been reviewed at gmail.com as the PayPal address. I've got them both set up there. So that is awesome. So we are getting to close to the end of our watch time listening time on the podcast. I'll try to keep them short for the podcast because I've got some folks that like to put them on CDs. So I'm going to conclude this portion of the, overcoming obstacles here on Sunday night. I'm going to conclude that. And so I want to thank you guys all for watching. We've had some good discussion tonight, and I'm going to thank you guys for that. And you guys have a good night, and I will see you all out, about, and online.